All right. Hello, 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 and welcome to Shared Space with Laquita Chansey and my guy Chap. How you doing today, Chapo?
All is well. All is well. Had a great walk yesterday at the Health and Wellness Walk at Lake Montebello at 9 a.m. on Sundays. Always a really great experience, great fellowship, great family vibe. Um, yeah, man. Never ceases to amaze me how the spirit moves in people and conversations that happen there. So well
Yes.
done, well
Listen,
done, ladies.
I love it because when we first started a whole year ago, because we've been doing this for a year now. Like we're about
Oh,
to
yeah,
yes, the
over a year.
middle of October we'll be celebrating a year, so we're gonna have to
Okay.
do something special. But yes, every Sunday, 9 a.m., Lake Montebello, we have a community advocate out there, whether it's a doctor or a community organizer. We do some mindfulness, some movement. We walk around the lake, but then we also engage with the community. Like you see me, Chap, as folks are walking by, Khadijah and I are like pulling them down. You as well. We're like, hey, step into this circle. We see you at the lake all the time. Like, let's build community. So I love that we are creating a shared space virtually and physically, even during a pandemic, because let's not pretend that the pandemic is over. Okay. So there's that. And yeah, so let's get into it. We have an awesome special guest today, and we'll be talking about our excited. You know what? I'm gonna let our guests tell you. I'm gonna let our guests tell you. How about that?
All right.
All right, let me see. Give us a thumbs up if you are ready. Okay, I'm not seeing a thumbs up. So let's give her a second. So either way, chat. In
So
addition, go ahead.
can
Yeah.
I put the poster up? Kind of give this is the flyer. So tonight Miss Gathers told me tonight is the last night to submit your videos for the brunch pitch Baltimore's Black Excellence Edition pitch contest. So new businesses, old businesses, not yet businesses, any age. We are looking to support Black entrepreneurs. And well, here's Miss Tasamere to tell you more.
Right. Meeting folks where they are at. I want to call this the Black Equity Brunch pitch. But go ahead, Taz.
Thank you guys for having me on the show tonight. I'm super excited about bringing the brunch pitch to Baltimore. So, the brunch pitch lowers the barrier to actually entering a pitch competition. If you guys follow a lot of pitch competitions, they usually ask a lot of questions around your EIN, around your tax status. Sometimes they also want, backup documentation about what you've been doing for a few years, la di da. Most Black entrepreneurs don't have that information, and or they don't want to share that information with entities that they don't trust.
Mm.
And so the brunch pitch was created to lower the barrier of entry to do a pitch competition, but to also give you the technical assistance that you need in order to pitch at your best. And you get some feedback from some industry folks, and we have an amazing lineup thanks to our partner over here at Be More News and BlackUSA.News. Donnie has helped to secure some amazing judges that otherwise would be really hard to get in front of to get this very much needed technical assistance. And it's not hard. The only things that you have to put in the video is your name, the name of your business. Are you selling a service or a product or both? Why are you passionate about this business and why did you start it? That's
So,
it.
so can we put the flyer up again? You can talk about your judges.
Yes. Let's do it.
All right. So I'm
So,
gonna share with you guys. Mark Clark, we know from Fox 45 and some other media. He's always been a media presence on TV in Baltimore. Mike Nice, best Saturday morning show in Baltimore, probably on the East Coast. This guy does a throwback on Saturdays. with Larry Lancaster. Wonderful show. Them guys are fantastic. And then the other two guys I'm not terribly familiar with, but as you
So
will.
let me tell you. So Sean Stinnett is an amazing person. He actually runs a lot of the main streets in Baltimore. I'm not sure about the barriers, but he works primarily with women and minority owned businesses. So that's definitely up our alley. And then we have Brandon Andrews, who is a casting director for Shark Tank. So when people are thinking about like, hey, I want to get on Shark Tank, I want to pitch to the sharks, usually you will have to go through some sort of audition, maybe a few rounds of auditions in order to even get on the show. And so he has graciously decided to be a judge at this competition, which is why the brunch pitch is super dope, because not only does it lower the barrier of entry into the competition, but our judges are like the real deal. So you're getting the real deal, not needing to give up all of your personal information, just needing to submit a video, and bam. I mean, what easier can it get than that?
Taz, I am let me see. I am super excited to see all the different, yep, you took care of it. Thanks. I'm super excited to see all of those different judges and to get to know some of them a little bit better. Almost 2 years ago, I met Sean on a community event because we were building the panels for some shelters for an encampment in Baltimore. And he and his group from Kioba came out and volunteered with us to get the project started. I had no idea that he was working for the mayor or that he had anything to do with Donnie until the last, what was it? The time before last, the Black Wall Street Awards. So Baltimore is small to more, but I love how Donnie keeps us all connected and keeps us plugged in. Like, this is super exciting. So I'm the co-host, so I'm excited to talk about that. Uh-oh, got a co-host here. So Taz, I mean, is it cheating for you to tell us about some of the applications that you got or some of the feedback that you could give?
So we have a few entrepreneurs that have been willing to take the risk to pitch. Still have some more folks that might decide to throw their hat in the ring after hearing this interview, or coming and then saying like, damn, I should have pitched with you guys. I don't know when we're going to come back to Baltimore. But that being said, we have someone that does like event planning. We have someone that is in the healthcare app development world. Someone that started like a safety business that just entered recently, and then someone that owns a gym. So it's the gamut of folks. Some people just have an idea and they're not really business savvy or as business savvy as they would like to be. And then other people have been like really hustling and bustling their businesses for a while. It's really not about the competition per se, right? It's about getting in front of industry leaders, saying what your business is, being bold enough to say what you need, being bold enough to say why you think you're making an impact, and really getting this information that can really scale your business in whatever space you currently are in. And so what has happened in the past is that the judges connect with the entrepreneurs, right? Like they connect with them. They might decide that they want to mentor them. You know, if you're looking for media, we have a media person there that might get you an interview. So there's so many things that come out of just taking the risk to wanting to participate, that is so rewarding that you likely wouldn't get somewhere else with such low stakes, right? Like it's such low stakes. There's anyone that has a business could answer those 5, 6 questions.
Well, and I'm impressed with the network of people that they'll have access to between, you know, Quita with Small to More Homes and her tiny home business and that network of people. Mike Nice is, you know, 88.9 Morgan. He's over at Morgan. He's a DJ across the city. Mark Clark, obviously with the networks. Sean Stinnett, obviously with like the government agencies, and then Mr. Andrews with Shark Tank, right? So like, when are our, you know, entrepreneurs going to have access to different networks like this all in one place? So this is a fantastic opportunity. Um, like you said, even to just make connections, like step out, do the video, just show up and make the connections with the people that are here. These are men of quality, and they're men who can support and kind of show people a different way or support them on their way. You know,
Right.
yeah,
Right.
I'm excited, man.
Right. Chap, like the meeting folks where they're at as a business person, as a like serial entrepreneur, it is super hard to keep up with all of the things when you first get started. We know that most businesses fail in the first 5 years, like 90% of businesses fail in the first 5 years. You know what I mean? So thinking of that and knowing that those are your odds, but you decided to start a business anyway, is almost a mental health issue. Like we'll talk about that later, right? But and like I said, I'm a serial entrepreneur, so no hate, no shade, right? Like so I'm in that boat. But being able to have a network of folks that you can talk to, that you can lean on, that is like-minded, just having those folks in the same room is going to be so helpful because you don't have to spend all of this energy getting people to see where you're coming from because we already understand the
Right.
hustle of being an entrepreneur.
Right,
We
like
already
everybody in the room is already focused on supporting Black excellence and Black businesses. We already got them in the room for you. Taz already has done that.
right.
All you got to do is show up, man. Like,
Right.
wow.
And it's all about access because Baltimore has no shortage of experience, expertise, and talent. So it's really about the access. So, Taz, thank you so much for bringing the brunch pitch to Baltimore. So, back to DM Firm. How long have you been doing the brunch pitch and when did you start DM Firm?
So I've been doing the brunch pitch for a year. It's like a backwards Benjamin baby. But the DM firm has been around since 2017. And I have had to pivot as I was learning my niche and what I was good at and what people were willing to pay me for and what I enjoyed and my customers. So I have had to go through some of the same things that people that are just trying to start their business is going through. So I know what the struggle is like, just having an idea and trying to make the idea a reality, and then trying to grow that idea to being able to take care of yourself, your family, your dreams, your aspirations. But then also like what happens when you plateau, and then you have to figure out how do you get to the next level of whatever that next level is going to be. So I have had some of the same gripes, like frustrations, experiences, challenges, some maybe shared accomplishments as other folks that are pitching. And so the brunch pitch came up because during the pandemic, we saw really an outcry with the pandemic and George Floyd with this whole focus on Blackness in America and what that means. But really, during the pandemic, you saw that a lot of small micro Black businesses weren't able to apply and win the same kind of funding that other businesses were able to do because they had a better infrastructure, right? And so they had, like, when you have to fill out this paperwork and it's only a limited amount of funds, you don't have time to go find all these documents or create these documents. You have to have a system where you have certain things in place, that you have your tax returns together, your EIN, your incorporating documents, like you know this stuff. But I also found that in talking to a lot of Black entrepreneurs, they didn't really feel like they needed to pitch. unless they were going on Shark Tank. And because people kept comparing the concept of the brunch pitch to Shark Tank, I said, I'm gonna go get somebody from Shark Tank. So now there's no need to like compare. So basically, I slid into Brandon's DMs. I found out that he was like doing tours around the country because he is a community guy. And I slid in his DMs and I like prayed about what I was gonna write. I don't even know what I wrote. I wrote something and I was like, please let him see it. And he's gonna respond because he could see it and just leave me on red, right? So I said, let him respond back. And then he did. And I was so nervous. I scheduled a call. I basically called in reinforcements because most people know. And I was like, I need you to come watch him. I only have like 2 minutes to do this pitch. And I had to pitch to Brandon to be a judge on the show. So I was like, what am I going to say? I only have 2 minutes. Like, this guy doesn't know me from a hole in the wall. I'm not coming from like a urban league or something that's like recognizable, like super independent. He might tell me he don't got time for me. I'm not big enough. But he actually agreed to be a judge in November of last year. And I was super, super excited. And we stayed in touch, and he, let me know that he was interested if I ever came to the DMV area that he would want to be a judge. And so again,
So you've been sitting on this since November.
Since November of like, I have to plan this out. I have to figure out what this is going to look like. Donnie definitely stayed on top of me about bringing the brunch pitch to Baltimore. And I just sent him an email. And again, like, hey, I don't even know if you got time, right? Because I'm going to Baltimore. That's all I know. The theme is like Black excellence. You down to come be a judge? And so he responded maybe like within the next day or two with like, of course I would come out to be a judge. And I think that is amazing to have built that kind of like relationship with someone that has so much access that
Yes.
I don't necessarily have at the flick of my hand, but I'm able to give that access to people that have even less access than I have, right? And so these are everyday folks that are usually doing something while they have their full-time jobs, or they decided to quit their full-time job to like step out on their dreams. And some months are amazing and fantastic, and other months are like, I'm gonna have to pray because I don't know how this is gonna come through. But I believe that in doing the brunch pitch, we close a lot of those communication gaps, a lot of over the tracks kind of gaps, and allow people to like level up in a way that is very authentic. And I'm not beating people in the head for their personal information to participate in the brunch pitch.
I love that. Go ahead, Jack.
Real quick, Quita. So I want to do a shout out to people watching. So David Moore, your drone photography idea, pitch it tonight because we're closing submissions tomorrow, right? Who else we got? Steve. I think Steve Williams pitched the gym and he does mixed martial arts and exercise and stuff. So I think said he got his video turned in this evening. Definitely Danelle Pinder. Danelle's got excellence and ambition, and she has like young Black entrepreneurs from Baltimore. So if you're not watching now, we're gonna get this link to her and try to get some submissions in tonight, because tonight's the last night, guys. So there's a ton of people in our network who have ideas and they already have businesses, and they need a little extra something. And even if it's not the prize, it's the networking and the relationships. That's where the real equity is going to be anyway. So please please submit, please participate, show up on Tuesday, meet and greet, build up the network, build some relational equity, and leverage that to grow your business.
Thank you, Chap. That was an amazing plug. I would say it again for the people in the back, but they can just replay. They could just replay it.
Right. So, Taz, with all of that being said, you mentioned that the brunch pitch has been going on for a year. So, the brunch pitch in Baltimore, I heard that there might be a prize. I know that there's some coaching or something. Like, tell us what you can share about what a winner looks like.
So there's definitely some services that you will win. One of them is me, of course. But also Be More News put money up for the winner. So that is super amazing. We usually don't have a cash prize at all, but we do this time. Then, just some media, of course, on blackusa.news. But again, I don't know what the judges are going to decide to do. It all depends on the pitch, the environment, how they're feeling. They usually go rogue on me and do things and don't necessarily tell me. I'm mostly okay with that. I'm like, but somebody could have told me something. But at the end of the day, it's all about you're not going to have another moment if we just go with any one of the four judges, because they're all amazing in their own right. You're not going to have a moment where you have their undivided attention for about 7 to 10 minutes where they're just listening to you, right? Like, who knows where that can take you in a connection to something else that you need. People say that they need funding. Who knows what that can do? Some people want to be on Shark Tank. Who knows? Like, this can be, maybe you might not even have to do 5 auditions. Maybe you only got to do 2. So you really don't know where it can lead to. And I can only speak about like what has happened in the past is that even people who weren't the winner have had like mentorship from the judges.
Can I share that one of your youth entrepreneurs ended up having a podcast on blackusa.news? Their own, not joining us on a podcast because all of us host shows, but their own podcast.
Exactly. And that was something totally out of the blue, right? Like, I never even thought that Zaria from Dear Black Girl would have her own show on Saturdays. That never even came up as like a wish list item that she wanted or that her mom wanted for her. Something else that came up for a winner last November was the opportunity to get their juice in stores. And she didn't even win. She wasn't even the winner of the competition, right? But somebody was like, hey, I really liked your beverage. I want to work with you. I might have some opportunities. So you just never really know where things can go or where they can take you or who else is in the room as an industry leader that's just sitting in the audience. So it's really like, what I usually tell people is, if I do a brunch pitch in your city and you didn't show up, I don't want to hear from you. I don't want to hear why I didn't do this, because I can just check it off. And there has been some cities that wanted a brunch pitch and their entrepreneurs didn't participate. So I'm not going to do a brunch pitch there, right? Like, if I have to pull teeth to bring these industry experts to your city and your people don't want to participate, I'm not coming, right? Because the least you can do is come. It doesn't cost you anything except for a 30-second video that like, but the outcomes is like tremendous. And usually at an incubator, you usually give up equity. Currently, we are not asking for equity in your business to connect you and level you up. So I think it's a like no brainer, but for some people they have a difficult time.
Right. What I would like to add though, Taz, is as an entrepreneur, you have to know how to pitch your business. Like, if nothing else, your pitch needs to be your elevator pitch, right? Like, you need to be able to tell people exactly what you do in a moment's time to capture their interest so that you can, one, generate customers. It's a marketing tool, it's a way to generate revenue. Like, all of these different things that are necessary as a business owner are things that are necessary to have a successful pitch. So, if nothing else, it's getting you more comfortable with speaking about your business and being able to articulate what you do so that people listen, and it's something that you get better at. So, if you're not good at it, attending a brunch pitch is the best way to prepare for when you get to Shark Tank, because you can't start at Shark Tank stumbling over yourself, not knowing what your business is doing. So start with Taz. I mean, that's what I would do.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
And
In
so you
addition,
got,
go ahead, Jack.
I was gonna say, you got my wheels turning now. So like, I got to send this out to Chef Lyle. His buddy Sean that I met is he writes government contracts, and um, he has a program where he wants to start teaching young men that we're mentoring in the city how to write these government contracts. There's who else?
Blanca could come and talk about her bilingual classes.
Yes, Blanca, right? She has
Everybody
a
out
preschool
here in the
program where,
community doing stuff.
right? So Blanca has a preschool program in the works that teaches young people to be bilingual before they go to kindergarten. She does it, right? And that's a business idea. So we get but for this particular brunch, we will say that this is supporting Black entrepreneurs and Black excellence. So we will have to do more, and you're
Right.
always
We're
doing
gonna
them.
do
So
another one in September. September is Latina Heritage Month, right?
that's right. Yep.
We're always doing brunch pitches, and we also have something called PS Entrepreneur, because I did get a lot of like, the brunch pitch is only for Black entrepreneurs. What happens to everyone else? So I created
Hold
PS.
on, Taz.
Yes.
Everyone else can go to all the other brunch pitches, okay? Like, let's stop pretending like everything else ain't for everybody else.
And look, we can't help other people if we don't help ourselves first.
Not only that, like the equity of it all, let's talk about it. Like, I'm gonna get into it, but just a little bit. Like, we need access and resources to these types of things specifically for us, because we're at a disadvantage because of the way we are marginalized. So marginalizing our butts right over here to this one brunch pitch is the way that we create equity throughout the community. Go ahead, Taz, run it back.
So, in a response to all of that, we created PS Entrepreneur, which is a spinoff of the brunch pitch, although it's not the same experience of a brunch pitch. So, the brunch pitch isn't just a pitch competition that focuses on Black people, right? Like, some of the themes can get really creative. So usually it's at a Black owned space. We make sure that the judges are Black. If we're doing catering, we make sure that the catering is from like a Black chef or a Black cook. And so it becomes like an all Black everything concept. The one that was like the Blackity Blackness was the November one of 2021, where we basically wrote Black people across the diaspora back into the storyline of brunch through a Black food historian and a Haitian chef, which was like super dope. And they told the story of like where certain foods came from and how they're prepared and who they were prepared by and who started the recipes. So we can go really deep into this whole Blackness. But PS Entrepreneur is similar to the brunch pitch in some ways, where it still is a platform for people to come out and pitch their ideas, although it's a little bit more inclusive to everyone else, including Black people, whereas the brunch pitch is really focused on Black entrepreneurs.
Okay, okay. So I appreciate you being super inclusive, right? So let's not act like there aren't other marginalized populations. So thank you, Taz, for, elevating that and thinking of other folks, right? Because everything I think about is blackly black, 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 because that's what I see in my everyday life. That's what I see when I look in the mirror. But, like I said, I will shout out my girl Blanca every time I get it. You know what I mean? Like I share this platform with all folks, right? But wait, hold on. What I wanted to add was you were talking about creating acts. Go ahead, chat. Now I done lost it.
Get it back. No, I just wanted to share. Speaking of Blanca, right here is so just Mr. Solera, Senor. Hola, how are you doing? Thank you for checking in. And so yeah, this gentleman here is founded Nuestras Raíces, which is means our roots in Spanish. And he has a house of culture for Latino heritage. He is doing Fiesta Baltimore, which October 9th they're going to be shutting down Eastern Avenue, having a parade leading to Latino Heritage Festival at Patterson Park. We'll get more information on that. He was actually on the morning show with Mr. Haney this morning. But this would be someone, if we wanted to do a Latino brunch pitch, Mr. Angelo is the guy. Like, this is the guy. So we have people of influence checking in and seeing the work that we're doing for our community, and that will spill over into all communities because, like I said, we take care of us, then we're able to take care of each other. And he's of that same mentality. He's very much focused and has been in the community doing kind of the work that we do for a long time now. He's one of the people who I can go to and he gives me good advice. And so alongside of all the networks that you're bringing together for our community at the brunch pitch coming up on October 4th, which again, submissions end tonight, guys. Get your submissions in. But yeah, so it's great to see people checking in. Quandra, Mr. Solera, appreciate you guys watching, and definitely want Officer Grimes. Officer Grimes, I know that she's got like a ton of different stuff she does. She's a cook. She does catering. She does event planning. So Bernadette, put a little video together, submit it. I'm gonna send you the link as soon as we're done on the show tonight. I'm gonna send you the link. Do a video. You never know. Come. At least come see what on October 4th. Come out. Is it at Next Phase or Darker Than Blue?
It's at Darker Than Blue Grill.
So Darker Than Blue, 6 to 8 on October 4th. Just come check us out, meet some of the network that's building up our Black Wall Street.
And I just have to do a disclaimer. We do not allow cold pitches. So if you come up and you say, oh my gosh, I didn't know it was going to be like this. Can I just have a couple of minutes to say blah, 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 blah? The answer is going to be no. You needed to sign up before in order to be able to pitch. And so it's important to note that because that has happened in the past where people were like, oh, I didn't know you were going to have this person. This is a treat for the people that took the leap before, that just said, I'm going to just step out on my faith and I'm just going to do it. Before they even knew who the judges were or what was going to be in the room. So that's their time to shine. I don't let other people try to steal it. You can try to get somebody's time during a networking piece, but that's how that goes down.
I love it. So what I wanted to add, I got it back, chat. So what I wanted to add is like, to add to the Latinx flavor, you mentioned the fact that you did some like a food exploration. That is totally something that could be done here. We have all different types of foods, but more importantly, chat, I feel like Dr. Mama Deborah would know some griots that could tie some great stories to food and brunch pitch that, or you know what I mean? Like, Taz, we need to talk because there are some folks in our community wellness walk that we do every week.
Got to come to the walk.
Come join us at Montebello. Pull up on us, okay? Like, you and the fam need to pull up on us. But Sundays at Lake Montebello, like, there are so many people there that I think would be great to one, pitch, and then two, just to create, like you said, these really specific experiences
Mhm.
for the people who are involved. It's like a curated brunch pitch, y'all. Like, who does that?
See, now you guys are like, we need to have a whole brunch pitch Baltimore chapter, that Baltimore has their own brunch pitches going on in addition to the New York tri-state area. I hear you. I hear you.
You're making more work for us, Quita.
Listen, chat. Baltimore is full of so many accelerators.
Big
I
facts.
did a bunch of them. Now a lot of them are paying. So people need the help with their pitches. They need to be able to network with folks. Like, I think this is a dope idea. I would love to be a part of it again and again and again.
And let me share this too. There's youth entrepreneur programs in the city that we can partner with and network with that actually get grant money to give to our young entrepreneurs through a pitch contest, right? There's it's a line item on some of our organizations, and so um they may or may not buy into this vision, but coordinating with them, we could even, help distribute that grant money to and empower our young entrepreneurs in the city and say, look, the M firm is organizing. This XYZ nonprofit is coming to the table with the prize money and as well as mentorship like you're offering, right? Like, until we get you here in Baltimore,
Right.
we have some nonprofits they can work with till we get you here in Baltimore and get you moved down to the hood here, man, and definitely plug in with because we have so much. He's right, man. Quita's so right. We have so much talent. We have so many young entrepreneurs that are just many of us are out of context, and we just need to be put in context. Really, we just need to a step in the right direction with what we're already doing. And I'll tell you from personal experience, like as a young person in Baltimore, I was a young entrepreneur out of context, and once I sort of started stepping in the right context, and it took me like decades to figure this out, but everything I learned and everything I was doing could be profitable and legitimate if I just did it over here this way or just followed this path instead of that one. So all this is important, all the connections we can make, the relationships we can build, the access to everything, not just like money's money, but the access to the relationships, access to the knowledge that our elders have and are more experienced. I mean, there's entrepreneurs that are younger than me that are much more well versed than I am in their trade. Like what's Laura Tone that was on the show, that one of our early shows, man. This kid was like 20 something years old, maybe 20, flipping
Right.
houses. And I'm like, wow, like
Right. And
wow.
Laurel's home, he's been flipping homes for as long as I known him, and that's been 4 years. So, and he had already started before then. But his thing is his friends, I'm speaking as him. He's like, his friends hustle, they make money, and they need some place to put the money. So we might as well fix up the block that we're hustling on and be smart about it, because y'all are gonna have to do that because there's no jobs, right? Like, either way, y'all need to make money. And if it's going to happen, we might as well reinvest in the community. So, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, like, do what you do, bro. Like, it needs to get done somehow, because these 15,000 vacants aren't going to solve themselves. So that's one thing. The second thing, Taz, I want you to tell us more about what DM Firm offers in addition to mentorship. Like, what other services is it that you all offer? And something about virtual. Do you all do virtual brunch pitches also?
So I work backwards. No, we don't do a virtual brunch pitch. I haven't figured out how to create the same kind of experience that you would get in person virtually. But the DM firm is a business development firm, meaning that we focus on the business plan. And it is something that most entrepreneurs hate to think about work on, but it is definitely necessary. So we focus on the business plan. We focus on customer segments. We focus on how you're going to get to that bag strategically. So that's where some business strategy comes in and lining certain items up. And then if you haven't already launched your business, we focus on helping you launch. And then we help you focus on growing. And the growing is what your definition of growing is. Because right now, I see a lot of people say, I want to scale my business. And that either means I want to get an investor to invest in my business, and or I want to be in stores. Those are two different types of strategies. One, if you want to get an investor, your business has to have an exit strategy, which most people don't consider that. And investors consider exits to be either you're selling your business, you're merging your business, or you're going to be acquired. So this isn't that you're going to keep your business with you for the next 100 years, right? So if that's what you're trying to do, we really need to have a strategy of like, how is that going to look? Because that looks very different than, I just want to have a family-based business, right? And then if you are thinking about getting into stores, it's a whole pack. What does the packaging look like? What stores are you aiming to get into? How much marketing budget are you going to have to push people to go to that store? Because you have to sell out at that store, right? Like that's the idea. Like you can't say I want to be at a store, but I'm going to send everybody to my e-commerce website. They have to go in the store and purchase, or else the store is going to drop you or lower your doors. So all of these are different strategies that you have to have. And while I might not be the expert to take you from A to B, we'll actually know who's the next person you need to talk to and what are you talking to them about. So if you're talking about investment, what fund are you looking for? Is that an incubator? Is that an accelerator? Is that just going to a fund and trying to pitch? And what are you willing to give up? I've actually in New York City have been getting involved in cannabis, which cannabis is having their own brunch pitch in Harlem. And so we are doing a brunch pitch cannabis edition, which is very different from traditional businesses. And a lot of Black folks are trying to get into cannabis and figuring out what they can do that can be profitable. So the DM firm is going everywhere where we can go around what's happening in different ecosystems and how do we start to connect our clientele with the right resources and they have the strategy in order to make something happen.
I love that. I love that. And I want to say that you helped me with my customer personas when I was working on my proposal for my tiny homes. Like, who is it that we're going to sell to? Who are our investors? And flushing all of that out. So I can say from experience that, that was super helpful. I needed that for a pitch, for funding, and these are great things because clearly your girl is moving forward with her tiny home village. You see the tiny home behind me. Like, these things are going to happen one way or another, people. Get with it or get lost. All right. So Taz, I do thank you for all of that. I thank you for bringing these resources to Baltimore, bringing these folks together, and just talking about different things as far as creating equity, like creating equity in the cannabis industry and like targeting a niche market, because one, you need millions and millions of dollars to get into the cannabis industry if you want a dispensary. But like you said, there's other aspects. Like, what if you want to do the little toys that they use, or the accessories or the lighters? There's so many different aspects to that world that there's some lower barrier things that folks can be introduced to and talk about. So thank you for that. Chap, did you have anything you wanted to add about the brunch pitch? Are you going to be at the brunch pitch? Are you going to be there?
I might be a couple minutes late, but as soon as I shut down the rec center, I will head on over.
Did you
Um,
tell coach? Did you tell the kids?
About the brunch pitch?
Yes. Do any of them have
We're not there yet.
okay.
We're not there yet. We're gonna get there. We got some work to do on some. We got some work to do, but we're gonna get them there for sure.
Next
Um,
year?
Probably before next year. We just got
No,
to be.
I'm saying they can apply next year. They can apply
Oh
for
yeah, no, that's what I'm
this will
saying.
be
Like they'll be
annual,
ready
right?
before next year. Yep. But also wanted to shout out to Amanda Unique. She has her online boutique that she needs to send a pitch tonight. So I just texted her and sent her the link as well. Hopefully we get some late submissions tonight. Everybody look, submissions are closing tomorrow. So if you're watching the show, if you've hung out and watched the show to this point, please, any ideas you have, we are supporting Black entrepreneurs and promoting Black excellence in business. Reach out to me, Quita, Taz, get the link from us, send your videos, get plugged in. Um, I think we're good. I think we have next week. We have the wellness walk right there. Yeah,
Yep.
wellness walk every Sunday at 9 a.m. We hope to see Tasamere join us one Sunday morning. We'll get you out in time for church if that's your thing. I'm not saying it is or isn't, but no worries there.
Right.
Unless Miss Maria shows up because she likes to talk.
She had
Love you,
us
Miss Maria.
all out there talking for okay.
Yeah,
Well,
no, but we had a great time, great characters, great community people show up and fellowship. October 9th, I think we mentioned Fiesta Baltimore down in Southeast Baltimore, the parade, the festival. October 29th coming up. Yesterday we just had the Go Getters 28th anniversary and they celebrated down on McCullough at 3 p.m. They were marching. In fact, the Dynasty band showed up. The Dynasty marching unit showed up to an event I did Saturday at Center for Urban Families. Got to see them. That was beautiful. Mass Destruction's 10th anniversary. Another marching unit in Baltimore is coming up on October 29th. Looking forward to doing that. I think in the Garrison, somewhere northwest. I got to get more information and we'll get them on to talk about that as well. Yeah, October's got some fun stuff coming up. How about you? And of course, October 4th, 6 to 8, Darker Than Blue, the brunch pitch.
Yes, and so how about me? So Sunday, Lake Montebello, all the Sundays until December 11th, 9 a.m. Come out with us. Friday at Old Major, we're doing a little real estate happy hour. It's also my birthday tomorrow, so I've been telling folks to come and have a drink with me. Yes, 21 again. That's what y'all getting. 21 again, right?
I don't drink, but I'll do a drink for you.
Right. And that's what I was saying. I was like, I don't really drink like that. Like I'm a little bit older than 21 and I don't be liking the way that it makes me feel. So give me a little strawberry lemonade and I'm good. Okay. Like I need to work on my sugar intake, but we'll talk about that later. So anyway, and then at the end of the month, we've decided that we want to have our weekly wellness walk cater to kids. So October 30th, we're going to have some games out there. We're going to do something to engage more kids to come out with us. Thank you, Quandra. 21 again. It's Libra season, y'all. Thank you for saying happy birthday. But yeah, that's all that we got going on. I'm looking forward to building with Taz. Chap, what is it that you got to say?
And Taz, plug your show for us. Where can we hear more about what you're doing?
Oh, the Blackout Live from New York, Saturdays at 10:15 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Right here, just, click the little subscribe bell in YouTube and just subscribe to these shows and see what we're to. This week we talked about the Woman King and the impact that had on my guests. Although I didn't see the movie yet, I'm super excited to watch it.
Did you have any announcements you wanted to add?
No, not really. Just the brunch pitch, Baltimore Excellence Edition, October 4th. We have some other brunch pitches coming up, but they're not in Baltimore, so we ain't gonna talk about them yet. So we're just gonna focus on what's going on in Baltimore.
Yes, and Stronger is saying that the woman, what was it?
The Woman King.
Yeah, The Woman King was an amazing movie. I definitely do want to see it. I can only imagine how awesome it is. All right, Chapo. Who do we have coming up next? Robert.
Robert, the Robert Report.
Robert Report.
Thanks, Taz, for joining us. The Robert Report is coming up in about 5 minutes. Looking forward to that. And love y'all. Thank you guys for joining us. Get your submissions in tonight for the brunch pitch.
Yes, please do. Please do. Because y'all, it's a little cash prize. And then if you're not going to pitch, come up there and network anyway. We need some folks out there, encourage people, exchange some business cards. Come up there and look good, okay? All right.
Love you guys.
Yes, same bat time, same bat channel, Mondays at 7. See you again. Thanks for coming out. God bless. Good night. We love you.